in Jirapa, Sun City Radio, Keta, in Kilgi FM, Bole, ATLM FM, Cape Coast, and Radio Max in Takoradi. Our digital outlets include the My Joy Online app and Spotify. Coming up, shot and burnt alive. The gruesome murder of 2 policemen by armed robbers in Zwarungu in the Upper East region. We have details as the Inspector General of Police heads to the crime scene as the police service places a 50,000 cedi bounty on the heads of the robbers. Also,
that they will start burning things, they will start destroying, they will start putting up a barrier where they are not going to allow the cargoes to cross.
Fresh push for the reopening of Ghana's land borders as residents in border towns hint of planned demonstrations following President Akufo-Addo's directive for the continued closure of the country's entry points.
The decision to close our borders was necessary because we wanted to limit the importation of the virus into the country. I believe this is not the right time to reopen our land borders.
We'll speak live to the Jamora MP who wants the president to review border measures aimed at stopping the spread of COVID. Minority Leader in Parliament under pressure to file motion to demand reversal of earlier decision by the Speaker to reject the 2022 budget as Alban Bagbin takes the chair.
We expect that motion will be admitted.
By the Speaker of Parliament?
Yes.
Alban Bagbin?
He has to. Because either he accepts it or he rejects it. He must tell us something out of it.
We're live in Parliament with the very latest 38 amendments up for consideration at this weekend's MPP National Delegates Conference in Kumasi, with proposed election of a flag bearer 2 years before the 2020 general elections high on the agenda.
Those amendments are allowed to make a pitch, to argue for why they want that amendment. And then, after argument, it's put to debate, and then a vote is taken.
In sports,
Minority Leader of Parliament Haruna Adrisu has called for tax rebates for companies that support sports. We have details in 20 minutes.
And as we count down to Christmas, we'll tell you about the new introduction to the hamper business in Kumasi, the water hamper.
Some customers demand we add water to our packages.
You want to stay for the rest of the responses. Thank you for always choosing us. We are your home of independent, fearless, and credible journalism. I'm Arba Kumsin. In our first story, Inspector General of Police George Ekufu Dampare has assured the people of Zwarungu in the Bolgatanga East District of the Upper East region that the police will do everything within their power to hunt down some armed robbers who shot and killed 2 police officers in the area last night. The 2 officers are said to have arrived at the scene of a robbery at the Zwarungu market when the robbers shot at them. The patrol motorbike they were riding on is said to have exploded when a bullet hit the fuel tank. ACP Kwesi Furi is Director General Public Affairs of the Ghana Police Service. He joins us on the line. Many thanks for your time, ACP. We've been given a fair idea of what may have happened last night, but what is the briefing you have received with regards to the murder of these 2 police officers?
Thank you very much. The Inspector General of Police, Dr. George Ekufu Dampare, was on a working tour in the Ashanti region. But yesterday, when that information was received from the Upper East Regional Police Command, this morning he and some members of his administration are at Zwarungu and they met the Regional Police Command, visited some chiefs and elders, and he has assured the good people of the region that the police will do everything possible to get those suspects arrested. He has also placed a cash reward of 50,000 Ghana cedis for any credible information that might crop up. And it is our hope that people will assist in this direction for us to get the perpetrators. Meanwhile, huge security operation is ongoing, to track down the perpetrators of this crime.
All right, so the hunt for the killers...
The policemen involved themselves were on a routine patrol duty in the Zwarungu Boga Township when they were attacked by these criminals.
Right, so the hunt for the killers is already on, and as you say, the police service has placed a 50,000 cedi bounty on the heads of the robbers. But give us details of the incident itself. What exactly happened before the shootout?
They were assigned on a routine patrol duties, and yesterday around 8:20 p.m., while patrolling, they came to the Market Square Center, and there was a robbery also going on. And suddenly, the robbers opened fire on the police with a huge explosion, and that aspect is being investigated as to exactly what was used and what happened. And I shall speak to you. The two are dead, but one thing we also like to appeal to the public is that this can happen in the midst of a lot of people, and the video clips and other pictures being sent around on social media should be limited, and respecting the right of the police, the families of the police officers, and the service in general.
ACP, we picked information that the policemen were bent. Were they bent alive by the robbers, or what exactly happened?
Oh, it was an explosion that took place with fire, and that one happened, and they were burnt in the process. But it was not thereafter, but it was in the process. It was, in the midst of action.
All right, we'll leave it here. Thank you very much for your time. That's ACP Kwesi Fori. He's Director General Public Affairs of the Ghana Police Service with those details. Let's also speak with Upper East Regional Correspondent Albert Sori, who traveled to the crime scene. Albert, we understand the Inspector General of Police was at the crime scene a while ago. What briefing has he been given, and what more has he been saying?
Yes, Araba. So he is yet to officially brief journalists at the police headquarters. But one of the things he did was to meet with the people at the market where this incident took place last night. And his assurance is that they are going to hunt down these people, and the regional police are doing everything to keep them safe. He wants them to rest assured that their security is in safe hands. He's gone to also meet the Zwarungu chief. He's currently meeting with the Upper East Regional Minister at the Regional Coordinating Council, and then he will come to the regional police headquarters where journalists have been asked to wait for an official briefing of the incident.
Albert, we just spoke to the Director General of Public Affairs of the Ghana Police Service, and he says there was an explosion. What information have you gathered with respect to this?
Yes, so what we are told is that the police in Zwarungu received calls about a robbery, and while they were organizing men to move to the scene, these two police officers who have been shot were on night patrol duties on the patrol motorcycle. They were not the official men who were called to go and attend to the robbery. They arrived at the scene unexpectedly, and so when the robbers saw them, we are told that the robbers started shooting at them. So it looks like they were not even aware of the robbery. They just arrived at the scene and they were shot at, and in the process, their motorbike exploded. What we have now is that one of them was partially burnt, but we don't know if he was shot before he was burnt or it was the burning that killed him. We are waiting for the official press briefing to clarify all these things when the IGP addresses the media.
Very well. Many thanks for those details. Albert Sori is our Upper East Regional Correspondent, and the story is that two policemen have been shot and burnt alive by armed robbers in Zwarungu in the Upper East region. The incident happened last night, and we're told the IGP was at the scene a while ago. To the Ashanti region now, where the suspect in the gruesome murder of a young lady at Pakoso in Kumasi has been linked to the death of 2 other women whose bodies were found in the area earlier this year. 27-year-old Samira Farouk was brutally murdered by Nana Bonsu, who residents believe could be behind series of murders in the area. Nana Bonsu is believed to have lured his victims, mainly prostitutes, to his hideout and succeeded in robbing and in some cases killing them. Love FM's Erastus Asaridonko has more.
The Pakoso town is shaken by the gruesome murder of a 27-year-old mother of 2. These 2 carpenters got wind of the crime, chased down the suspect and arrested him. She was screaming, and I saw the young man throwing bricks at something 3 times. For a moment, I thought it was a snake until I saw his clothes soaked in blood. We rushed in, chased him, and arrested him. The victim was later identified as Samira Farouk and a mother of 2. Umar Farouk is her father.
Hospital. I don't know. Hospital.
There are conflicting reports on the condition of the suspect, whether dead or alive. If this were to be a lawless state, we would have lynched him as well. But we have laws, and I want justice.
Erastus Asaridonko filed that report. Now, this afternoon, there's a fresh push for the reopening of Ghana's land borders to allow for a regulated movement of persons through the various entry and exit points. That follows President Akufo-Addo's directive for the land borders to continue to be closed to human traffic. 2 months ago, some residents in Ketu South and Elubu protested the continuous closure of the borders, saying it has deprived them of their source of livelihood. But addressing the nation last night, the president said the borders must continue to be closed to check the importation of new COVID cases into the country.
I know the difficulties occasioned you by the closure of our borders. As you know, the decision to close our borders was necessary because we wanted to limit the importation of the virus into the country. We're monitoring the level of threat of the disease and ongoing vaccinations in our neighboring countries. And as soon as we are satisfied that it is safe to do so, the borders will be open. Until then, I believe this is not the right time to reopen our land borders, especially as we're determined to prevent a 4th wave. And as such, they will remain closed until further notice.
President Akufo-Addo there. But this announcement has incensed the residents in these border towns. MP for Jomoro, Dorcas Toffe, who led her constituents to demonstrate over the issue in September, says the residents, mainly from Elubu, are threatening to hit the streets again and block roads to force government to open the borders.
They will start burning things, they will start destroying, they will start putting up a barrier where they are not going to allow the cargoes to cross. They will, that these are the things that they mentioned, that they will blocking the roads to prevent the cargoes that crosses to stop crossing. And people are going through unapproved route, crossing illegally. And
thankfully, we are joined on the line by the MP. Many thanks for your time, Madam Toffe. Are you not fueling an agenda to expose the entire country to the risk of contracting the virus with your proposal?
Absolutely not. Well, first of all, thank you for this interruption. But absolutely not. I mean, as it is right now, people are crossing into the country from unapproved routes. And these people coming into the country, we don't know their COVID status because they are coming into the country illegally. So one or the other, we are being affected anyway. And I think this virus is here to stay. And so we need to just be innovative and learn to live with it. I mean, the same measures that have been put in place at the airport should be also done at the land border. I mean, we're talking about these vaccines. People are refusing to take the vaccination and all that. I mean, if do the same thing at the land borders or the areas with the health personnel there, it would even encourage people to take the vaccine. So I think that what I'm asking the government to do would not expose us to anything, because we've been exposed to it anyway.
But how do you justify this demand of yours, especially when we're dealing with the highly transmissible Omicron strain? I'm asking. I'm saying that right now we're dealing with the highly transmissible Omicron strain.
Right.
That is more dangerous, we've been told, than the other variants. So how do you justify this demand of yours?
Well, as it is now, what is going on at the airport? So what we are saying is that people, look at the amount of people that travel through Kotoka International Airport on a daily basis. If the government, the same variant, the same Omicron is there, that yet people are traveling. So the same measures that have been put in place. I mean, if that's the case, then nobody should travel in and out at the airport. Then everything should cease. Traveling should be ceased completely. We are not saying the government should leave it open. We are saying that the same measures that have been put in place at the airport should be done at the various land borders, so that our people will have the freedom of moving in and out, so they can go on their daily lives. Christmas is just around the corner. People's livelihood have been put on hold. Nothing is happening. Families have been broken apart.
Right.
People have committed suicide. People that have gone for loans cannot repay. Lives have come to a complete, shutdown.
So that's MP for Jomoro Dorcas Toffe there, and as you heard, she says she will be leading her people to, go on demonstrations to kick against the president's directive. Let's move to Parliament now, and there's pressure on the Minority Leader Haruna Iddrisu to file a motion on the floor demanding the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin, admits and declares as unconstitutional the approval of the 2022 budget. Alban Bagbin, who's been away on medical leave, is expected to take the chair today. Among others, the Minority Leader may reintroduce its motion seeking to set aside the approval of the 2022 budget. It's unclear if this will be done, as Parliament has already approved some of the estimates of ministries, agencies and departments. But MP for Talensi BT Baba says his side will stop at nothing to have finality brought to the subject.
We expect that motion will be admitted.
By the Speaker of Parliament?
Yes.
Alban Bagbin?
He has to. Because either he accepts it or he rejects it. He must tell us something out of it.
What do you want him to do as a member of Parliament, knowing that
personally,
some of the budget estimates have already been approved?
The budget estimates cannot be a bar to that motion. That motion clearly states certain principles. And we are dealing with it on matters of principles.
MP for Talensi BT Baba there. Let's go on the line. Parliamentary correspondent Parker Wilson joins us on the line. Parker, is there any indication that the Minority Leader will file this motion?
In fact, from the minority side, they are convinced in their mind that since they made a promise to the ordinary Ghanaian, that promise must be fulfilled. And so they are expecting their leader, Haruna Iddrisu, to raise the matter before the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin. And of course, we've been hearing some of the expectations from the minority. Thankfully, we have the majority chief with me, Frank Anadampe. Honorable, briefly, some minority MPs are saying that they want Alban Bagbin to bring finality to the raging controversy in the chamber. What do you make of it?
I don't think there's a problem. I mean, first of all, we've gone through full cycle. The consideration stage of the estimate is ongoing in earnest, as we all know. Yesterday, we passed 4 ministries' estimates. Right. And so, morally, it will be, lopsided for anybody to say that at one breath you've supported the passage of these estimates, and at another breath you are saying that you are challenging the very estimate or the very budget that came out with these estimates. So, I think that we have moved on, in my mind, and for what I know, discussions that have gone on behind the scenes, I think that we have moved on and we need to move on.
So what discussions are going on?
No, I can't disclose everything to you, but I am aware the leadership has engaged actively and we've done what we have to do in the spirit of ensuring that this country moves ahead. That has been done. Yes.
And finally, so you don't expect the Speaker Abambabing to make reference to all the things that happened in his absence in the last 2 weeks?
No, we cannot cage him. We can't put him to a corner not to speak. I mean, if you know the Honorable Abambabing, nobody can put him to a corner. But we also appreciate that the Honorable Right Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Abambabing, also appreciates the essence of what has happened, and he also appreciates the extent of engagement that has gone on in the few days, even with return, the kind of engagement that has gone on. All in the collective interest of ensuring that we do the welfare of the Ghanaian people. So I do not expect any drama. I expect that we will continue, as we've started, to take the motion related to the estimate and ensure that we pass them and ultimately lead to the passage of the Appropriation Act accordingly.
So the minority should abandon the request, claim.
Well, nobody's pushing them, but in the light of the foregone and the evidence of what is at stake, they better advise themselves.
That's Frank Anadon, the majority chief whip in Parliament. Frank Anadon.
Right, Parker, just before you go, what more is expected today on the floor of Parliament?
Well, so largely the MPs themselves are still within at the committee meetings considering the budget estimates. They are starting proceedings at 2 p.m. today, and then they are expected to file some of the motions and, of course, adopted them. Yesterday, 4 sector ministries were adopted, including the Roads and Transport Ministry. So today, the other sectors will be put before the House, and the House will adopt. But there's an issue about the e-levy, the financial bill, which hasn't been put before the House yet. And another press still with me. Honorable, when are we seeing that bill before the House? Because the minority is raising questions about it.
Well, I think that when we discuss, one of the matters that the finance minister was eloquent on was that he would engage, and I am aware of the ongoing engagement. So it will be subjected to the laid-down procedure. It will be laid. I cannot tell you when, but I know it will be laid.
That's parliamentary correspondent speaking to Honorable Frank Anot-Dompre. You're still listening to the Midday News here on Joy99.7 FM. Our top story: Inspector General of Police George Ekufu-Dampare has assured the people of Zuarungu in the Upper East the police will stop at nothing will do everything within their power to hunt down some armed robbers who shot and killed 2 police officers in the area last night. And later in the bulletin, we'll tell you about the new introduction to the hamper business in Kumasi.
Some customers demand we add water to our packages.
Finally, it's here. The most amazing Christmas experience right here in Accra. Live at the Polo Court. Around the World Food and Drinks Festival is bringing the spirit of Christmas back this December. From Friday 24th to Sunday 26th. Come taste food from over 50 countries. Have the most amazing family brunches by top chefs like Sweet Ajele, Nyonyo, Men's Coke, White Money of BB Niger, and many more. While the kids have fun all day long with Santa. Also enjoy some music by Kofi Kinata, Kiddy, Efia, and Jackie. Visit www.atwfestival.com or call on 054-372-7536. This festival is brought to you by Echo House in collaboration with various embassies in Ghana, Kaya Tours, Prompt Communication, Aquaba UK, sponsors Coca-Cola, Boomplay, Lifeboy, Lux, Close Up, Annapurna, Sunlight, HD Plus, Freightor, Royal Aroma, Next Level, FMB, Vodafone, Smirnoff, EcoBank, and Mixdown Studios.
You're welcome back to the Midday News here on Joy 99.7 FM. It's time for sports, and Muftau Nabila is in the house. Hi, Muftau.
Hi, Yaraba. We'll be hearing from the Minority Leader of Parliament, Haruna Idrisu, who says Ghana must qualify for the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar. According to him, participating in the tournament would boost the country's economy, but he wants company to be given tax rebates for sponsoring sporting activities.
Apart from AFCON, we have to prepare the Black Stars for Qatar. It is a must-go journey for the Black Stars. The country will stand very united with the Black Stars to make Ghana proud. Let me paraphrase from the minister's statement when he says that His Excellency President Nana Addo Dankwa invited corporate Ghana to a breakfast meeting in order to raise about $25 million to support the Black Stars by way of funding. The Speaker, truth is, government alone cannot adequately fund the Black Stars.
That is Minority Leader Haruna Iddrisu.
All right, many thanks, Muftal. Now, let's do some politics. And delegates of the governing New Patriotic Party will on Sunday accept or reject a proposal seeking to hold Delegates Congress to select a flag bearer to succeed President Akufo-Addo 2 years before the 2024 general elections. The current arrangement in the party's constitution says the party shall elect a presidential candidate a year before the national election when in power, but opponents of the proposed amendment hold a different view. Also, there are 37 more amendments requiring the decision of delegates. We can listen to Communications Director of the MPP, Yao Boabeng Asamoah.
Those amendments are allowed to make a pitch to argue for why they want that amendment. And then, after argument, it's put to debate, and then a vote is taken. When there's a consensus and there's a majority vote for the position advocated, then it is adopted. And then the constitution is amended accordingly. Whichever one of them the party rejects, the reasoning for the acceptance will come out.
MPP Communications Director Yao Boabeng Asamoah there. Let's stay a while on the upcoming delegates conference because the deadline for potential aspirants to remove billboards dotted across the regional capital, Kumasi, has kicked in. But what is the situation on the ground? Nanaya Jima has been monitoring the situation. He joins us on the line. Are the billboards down now, Nanaya?
Some of them are still up. For instance, if you go to Sufo Line, one mounted by Mr. Bachejako is still standing, and at some roundabout there is another with the pictures of the president Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo and also the vice president, and it's claiming to be sponsored by friends of Dr. Baumia Inswami. That one is also standing. So even though a number of them are down, there are a few which are still up.
All right, many thanks, Nana Yaljima, with that update. Now, a study in Ghana has found individuals in the private sector are more likely to adopt the concept of e-health than government institutions. In the face of COVID-19, many countries have been forced to go paperless, especially the health sector, so as to curb the spread of the disease. Joy News' medical reporter, Dr. Nita Pasram, has more in today's edition of Tech Thursday.
The study found tertiary or referral facilities and people of younger age groups tend to appreciate and grasp the concept of e-health better than the older generation.
Specifically, the study found out that professional factors such as being a female, being young, and having a higher education, and having spent several years in the professional role were significant in influencing the adoption of e-health devices and systems among healthcare professionals and managers.
The researchers recommended that the Ministry of Health should put in place systems to ensure continuum of care for patients, even on the e-health.
That's today's edition of Tech Thursday. Now, it's 9 days to Christmas, and a lot of people are looking forward to getting hampers. I know I'm looking forward to getting some. But let me tell you about the new introduction to the hamper business in Kumasi, the water hamper. Bilkis Mohammed has more.
Mame Amatiwa sells hampers at Edum in Kumasi. Her customers ask for water when they come to buy. With such demand, she decided to make water a part of her special hamper packages this Christmas.
Some customers demand we add water to our packages.
The price ranges from 20 cedis to 80 cedis depending on the size.
Different.
The prices vary according to the size of the hampers.
But Would you be happy to receive a hamper full of water as a gift?
I will reject anyone who gives me a water hamper.
So you reject anyone who gives you a water hamper? Anyway, that's how we end the news here on Joy 99.7 FM. Our top story, Inspector General of Police George Ekufu-Dampare has assured the people of Zwarungu in the Bolgatanga East District of the Upper East Region the police will do everything within their power to hunt down some armed robbers who shot and killed 2 police officers in the area last night. There are more details on myjoyonline.com. I'm Arba Kumsin.